everyone, it's Jambor's New Humans of Eurovision show, and today I'm going to focus on Czech Republic. And I'm going to talk with Kryštof Šámal, the head of delegation, who just was the assistant of delegation, the head of press, now head of delegation, and he just started in those pandemic years. So I asked about it. How is it? How is it to be in Rotterdam right now? What's the feeling there? How is it to be reading all those stuff about your act? How to prepare? How hard it was to prepare? How is the future of Czech Republic at Eurovision? And many other things, like the Lake Malawi, for example. So please watch it all, because it's super interesting, and maybe you'll find out how us Czechs think about Eurovision. Let's talk. Hey man, how are you doing? I'm glad you're here with me. You probably have not much time to me. So how is it? How's this year?
Hi buddy, thank you for having me. Actually, I do have a lot of time in here because we are closed off in our hotel. So as I said a couple times in the interviews here on site, it's a prison. It's a nice prison, but still a prison. But yeah, I'm like going through the emails, having video calls and stuff like that. But I kind of have a lot of time.
Yeah, it's very different from the previous years. Like a lot of would you say it's Eurovision anymore?
Yes and no. Like this is my 5th year. And it's different. When I compare it to the previous ones, it's sort of post-apocalyptic in a way. There is a huge delegation bubble, which you know, of course, that for the fans, that's the like communal space for our delegation when they are preparing for the stage and stuff like that. So it's quite huge. To be able to accommodate a lot of people with the social distancing applied, but it makes it look even more empty, I would say. So the usual meet and greet and mingling around with other delegation, it's not there. Basically, everybody is a bit afraid, like a sort of, if you meet them, it's not like in previous, but it tries to keep the distance. So you are just saying, hi, how are you? I like your entry, blah, blah, blah. But it's just like people passing by. It's not much this usual Eurovision vibe. It's not going on this year. Yeah, and as I already said, we have to be in our hotels. When we have a free time, it's not allowed to leave the hotel, not even to get a coffee outside or anything like that. Yeah, so basically everybody's staying in their hotel, as far as I know. And yeah, it's like typical recording, I would say. Recording of a TV program. It's not this Eurovision
event, the festival,
socializing event. Exactly, it's not like that at all. And you can't see any like Eurovision fans around. So just people like doing what they like, going for the job and stuff like that. So you can be interested from the outside. So if you are in the hotel, there are not any crowds with flags. Nobody would like to take a picture with you. It's weird.
Yeah, it sounds pretty weird, but tell me, how is it from the artist perspective, from your perspective, how you see the artist? Can they focus more, or is it actually worse for them? Like, how would you say?
Yeah, I think there are two sides to this matter. Personally, I think for Ben, or for me rather, it's a good thing because we can focus like 100% on the rehearsing the stage choreography. Ben doesn't have any distractions, any outside of PR obligations. So we just like 3-4 hours every day, which we do, divided to two like a chunks or blocks. Right before one, like in the afternoon, and one right before Ben goes to bed. So it gets cemented in the brain and the muscle memory. But probably for him, it's not a good thing because you know Ben, you were part of the delegation when we were like start to negotiate with him to be part of the Eurovision. So he's like his superpower, I would say, is his charisma. He loves people. He loves to interact with people. He likes to share the energy with people. So he takes the energy from the fans, but he gives it back like twice that much, I would say. So for him, maybe it's not healthy. He's too much in his head. He can't let go. He can't like be in his favorite environment, people. Yeah, so I would say for me it's good because I don't have to like call him and like asking him please come back from the city, let's rehearse. Nothing like that. He's here all the time. But I think if he would be able to socialize a bit more, if he would be able to feed on this on this Eurovision energy, is um, which is usual when there is no pandemic, then I think he would be in better space with his head, like overall.
Yeah. How your experience actually being there for fifth time help him that you can at least, share something with him? Because I can't actually imagine that you're a newbie in this environment and you just go there and there's nothing happening. Like that sounds scary. But for you, it's something which you know what you're missing, but Benny doesn't. So how does your experience helps the whole team to survive the situation there?
Yeah, that's a hard one. Like I'm honestly, I'm not trying to explain Benny too much what the previous years were about, because basically if you didn't experience it, you can't explain it in any way. So I think it would just mess with his head if I would try to explain him. Yeah, in usual Eurovision, there would be a crowd of people waiting for you in front of the hotel with the flags. I think it would just mess up with his head. Explain him too much the difference. Yeah, and the other, if my experience somehow helps, I would say yeah, to a degree. We don't have to. We kind of know. Cyril also, the head of production from Czech Television. It's his
Second,
third
yeah.
year, second year.
Or if
So
we
he
don't, if we
knows.
doesn't count the last cancelled one, yeah.
Yeah. The cancel one. So basically, we know how it works. What's the priority? We don't have to deal with each email and with each request with the same priority level. We know like what's the utmost important thing we have to focus on. Yeah, so it makes it a bit smoother. But as I said, like this year, the experience is completely different. So also for us, it's a bit different. You have to go every 48 hours to get tested. A bit stressful, especially if some people are staying there long and you are just getting a scare that they might be positive. Yeah, and other than that, as I said, like we are in the hotel. It's so different that the experience doesn't help that much, I would say.
What didn't really change, actually, it's the pressure from the fans. There are still millions of articles, millions of videos, million of predictions, and million of odds or whatever commenting. Everybody's commenting it. And it doesn't seem that great for us as well. But how does this, like, how do you filter this to Benny?
Yeah.
Because it's the part of the Eurovision world, whether you want it or not.
Okay, that's a really nice question, buddy. I was watching your last video about the toxicity in Eurovision, about people commenting on being very harsh when they are judging or reviewing the act itself. To be honest, it's getting to my head as well. I don't know about Ben. I don't think he reads it too much because his experience from last year taught him a huge lesson. It was his first time in this event last year, so I think with the revamps and the pressure, everybody knows this story. he told me like half a year ago that he doesn't want to be that much involved this year regarding the reviews and comments and stuff like that, because it's messing up with his head. So I don't think he's that much into it this year. He's also way calmer than last year, I would say. Yeah, but kinda it messes up with my head, to be honest. Like, I would like to make a huge shout out to you and to all the former head of delegations and the current delegations, because the weight of the responsibility is huge. Yeah, and if you are going through the comments, which obviously you do if you are responsible for the act, then yeah, it messes up with your head a bit. You start what you read, and with Eurovision, it's crazy because you read one review or you watch one review which is completely positive, and then you review other review, and that's completely negative. So you're like, yeah, like, actually, how is it? Are we like really bad, or are we amazing? Like, do I need to like, is it good to maybe read in between the lines and try to find some value in those reviews, and maybe if there are 15 comments of the same, or like in the same direction, should I listen to it, and should I maybe try to change the things a bit, or should I completely ignore it and believe what we started to do? Yeah, it's a hard thing to do. I think the same for the artist, but for the delegation as well. You have to stay out of it as much as possible, I would say, for the new head of delegations.
Yeah, I would say there's no right answer to this anyway. Like, you need to care, you need to believe. It's maybe even different when you're doing the staging, or somebody else is doing the staging. Like, how the combination is. If your boss is coming to the town, that makes big difference, man. That I'm really glad that you will not have this experience this year, because that makes another pressure as well, unnecessary one, and that's how it is. But with this pressure, it's the biggest contest in the world anyway. So that there must be a pressure. That's the part of the game which probably the normal TV workers, without any offense, just will never understand until they experience it. But how do you feel? How was your preparations for this event? As I honestly felt that maybe this year it's just different in many ways as well, in that the preparations for the contest were like smaller or lesser, maybe because of the pandemic as well. Like, how do you feel now if it doesn't really backfire you a bit?
Yeah, like, there is never enough time. You can rehearse as much as you like, and prepare as much as you like, but you always have this feeling that you could give it 50% more, 100% more even. Usually this time comes right before the Eurovision, when the pressure hits you, and you are like, okay, so I think we have rehearsed a lot more. Even the artist realizes when he's there, or she. The thing is, it's pandemic, as you said, so it's a bit more complicated to get all the people together, especially when there are dancers involved, not just the lead artist. You have to have everybody at the same time, at the same place. All the dancers and all the performers also needs to do their job. It's harder for them to make the living in pandemic, so you just can't tell them like, cancel this project and focus more on Eurovision, because they are trying to survive like everybody else in Czech Republic. So I can complain to divide the focus in Eurovision, which is 3 months before. It's still like too much in the future, so they don't feel the pressure. Yeah, but I think they did an amazing job. They actually rehearsed a lot. They did. A couple times I saw Benny's calendar, which would freak me out. If that would be my calendar, like it seems like, what the fuck is this? It's crazy. The calendar is crazy. And it was like, yeah, don't even tell me, man. I can't think about it, because it would completely freaked me out as well. So he's a super busy artist, but he's also very professional in my opinion and very dedicated. I don't know that many people with this level of dedication and professionalism. Of course, if you would like to be on top, you have to be that professional. So yeah, honestly, don't know if we could have done more. Maybe in the PR, direction, we definitely could have. But regarding the act itself, I don't think we could have done much more under the circumstances. And also, important thing is that Benny, a free spirit, he likes to keep changing the things. He likes to fine tune the choreography. He feels improve the overall presentation. So the choreography was changing a lot.
Even
Closer
now?
we were to the event. Yeah, even now, because like the if I would be completely honest, the initial approach from Benny's side was okay. Let's do the choreography mainly for the dancers. I would like to be more free on the stage. I don't want to be in a specific frames on a specific place because then I would just focus on the positioning and not on the energy. Yes, but after the first rehearsal, we were like, yeah, buddy, actually, you have to be on a certain place at a certain time, because if you won't be there, it's just a recording of a show in a club or in an arena. It doesn't translate in front of the TV screens. So he said, like, yeah, you are actually completely right. I have to be more staged or choreographed, or how
Yeah,
you
I
would say it.
understand. This is a huge dilemma for me all the time, and we were talking together about this like million times. That in Czech Republic we miss a big project like live national selection or any other TV show which appears to be more professionally done, like Eurovision or like national selections or like Brit Awards or whatever, something like that, where even this is very scripted. Every move is kind of scripted because everybody relates that this is for TV viewer, not for the audience in the arena. And our, whoever it is, our singers, they are not used to singing in front of cameras like this, like they're. And when I was listening to probably all of those Benny's interviews, I got a feeling. I think it really rapidly changed during this week actually, that he finally realized, okay, this is actually a TV project. It's not a concert. And then, but how is it possible that he didn't know it before, or how hard it is to translate this?
Yeah, actually he knew, but as I said, he's a free spirit and he likes to do things in a way thinks is the best way to do them. This approach get him so far in Czech Republic because he never like listens to people without his opinion about it. He always tries to find himself in it and try to focus. How can I say it? Like he always try to be authentic. And initially, he didn't felt it's authentic thing for him to do, to be like completely choreographed, completely staged. For him, it sounded, I would say, fake to a degree. Yeah, but it changes your opinion if you see the the recording of a rehearsal and you see that you can't make any eye contact with the people in front of their TV screens at home. You can actually feel that it's not about being fake or authentic. It just doesn't. It isn't visually pleasing. It sort of looks more fake because it looks that you are ignoring the people in their homes and you are just performing for arena, which
Which makes no
realize it's
sense.
not a good thing to do. Makes no sense. But yeah, like huge shout out to him as well. We were able in like only 3 days of 3 hours each day, rehearsing 3 hours each day, he was able to nail like 99% of the interaction, which is mind-blowing for me. We're just going through the choreography like 20 times in each block, and we are Cyril is doing camera operator. He's running there with the phone. I'm screaming like, yes, steady cam low, fly cam, contact on a central camera, and he just learns to interact with those cameras. And it's basically the same thing. It's not fake. He just directs the attention the right side of the audience, but to the camera on the right side, and to the audience behind the TV screen.
Yeah, I think that's the basically mistake. Or I remember the same fight kind of we had with Lake Malawi. If you remember that, we want to be authentic.
Yeah.
We don't want big shots because it's like it's X Factor thing.
Yeah,
we're
no,
in the
yeah.
like the same, but then we tried to tell them, and a lot we trained a lot as well, and thank God they realized that there can be authentic basically, but they're doing TV show. It's not a concert. And that's, yes, I think it can be a borderline between the them. Yeah, me too, because they can't, because they have nothing to relate.
Never had this experience.
Yeah,
they never had this experience. Like if you watch all the Bennis interview, you know that he said the exact same thing. He said like it's completely new experience for me because there is no TV platform in Czech Republic which will teach you this.
Yeah.
No.
We tried.
Like Czech television or any other TV is doing recording of a concert or like a concert. They are just trying to record the concert. There is no work towards the cameras. If you are in a TV show, basically it's the same thing. Even if you are performing one of your songs in, I don't know, people don't know it, but the late night talk shows like a Kraus, it's still not like pinpointed to exact frames. You don't know where the camera will be. They will just go a couple times.
Well, not even not even those superstars or idols or Your Face Sounds Familiar, which is kind of close to it. It's very actually far with the production, like miles far. It's the closest thing, but still it's like obsolete in comparison to this, So that's the way we need to push. Of course, that's what's something we want to change now. But tell me, how is it from your actually perspective? Because this year I feel that the competition is extremely high. Like the average level of what's the quality just risen up rapidly. How is this for you? Because you like we started in 2016. You're still there. How for you in this 5 years period Eurovision shifts? How do you see it?
Yeah, I think every year there's a little bit less of this. From my point of view, obviously it's like a matter of visual taste. Each year the Eurovision moves away from the super crazy, over the top, weird kind of acts, and moves slowly but steadily more like original, serious music. I would say it still needs to do a lot of changes, and it still needs to it still needs time.
What would you like to change? Like, what is it? What you instantly would change?
I don't think it's a like thing you can engineer. I would say it's more like the general taste of all the countries is getting better and better, and more serious artists are thinking about Eurovision as a serious platform for them to be seen. So what happened in Czech Republic, I think, is happening in some countries slower, in some countries faster even than us, but slowly more and more serious artists are considering Eurovision, and that's basically, for me, it's evolution. Like the host broadcasters are doing amazing job last years, So people can see that they don't have to, like, how would I say it, like, they don't have to approve everything what's Eurovision is about. As an artist, they just need to focus on themselves, and they just need to show the best version of themselves, and that's enough. Like if somebody says, "Yeah, you are at the Eurovision, but there is also this weird or that weird act," I don't think the artist that much uh, impacted by it. Like in last years, I think everybody's just focusing on themselves. They are trying to be the best versions of themselves. There are more and more serious artists. Like 3 4 years ago, some of the artists, I don't want to be mean, and I won't name any, obviously, because it wouldn't be fair for me. But I think 3 4 years ago, like 5 6 acts were ridiculous for me. Just like people, I don't know. Yeah, basically, some of the artists were like couple levels below the top 10, top 5. In this year's Eurovision, I think everybody's like around this average, above, very little below, but there is nothing crazy in my opinion this year, which would overall put the Eurovision down. The biggest problem for me as a consumer, not as a part of the delegation, would be the running time. I think it's crazy long, crazy long. It's hard for people today, especially for the young people, to be present for a 3 hour long show. I think it's too much. But I don't know if there is any way around. But that's the best Eurovision killer in my opinion. Like overall killer of the program for some audience.
Yeah, number doesn't prove it actually. That's really weird actually that Eurovision really works by numbers, especially with the younger audience. It's like it just goes against this claim we all have, because for me it's too long as well. But I think there is
Yeah,
of course the solution, just make semifinals even more cruel, which is
yeah,
actually something I don't
yeah,
want to do. But there is actually something you said that we were talking about it yesterday or a few days ago as a matter, that it's really hard to predict as well winner this year, because there are like 15 countries which can win, like maybe not, but the quality is that high that it can happen, kind of.
yeah. Completely. Like we were, as you said, like we were having this conversation. In my opinion, there are no like three super amazing constant radio hits, but there is a bunch of super high quality acts and songs. Like any of them can be the winner. I completely agree that like the average is way higher than in last years. I don't think that there is like super decisive uh, winner. Like every year in those last 5 years, every year there were like one or two, maybe three winner candidates, like very decisive winner candidates. But this year I don't see any. There are, like as you said, like there are at least like 10 countries that can potentially win. Some of them are the radio versions or the studio versions of the songs. Maybe are 6 or 7 in kind of in some charts. But after you see the act and the presence of the artist, easily be winner. They're gonna surprise a lot. Yeah, it's a hard year for sure. It's a hard year for sure.
Yeah, and it's going to be hard here as well as after Eurovision. However, it ends up for us. I really wish we will make it to the finals, but who knows?
Nobody knows. Yes, it's
Who
going to
knows?
be hard.
Yeah, it's going to be hard for sure, but maybe not. Well, I don't know, but what's the plans for Eurovision in Czech Republic? If you already can share some details, or maybe even share your thoughts about what you would you like to do.
Yeah, like you never know how it's going to be with Eurovision next year. You know that it's always decided kind of before the Eurovision year or Eurovision season starts. So we never knew, except like one occasions, we never knew if the next year Eurovision is going to happen actually for Czech Republic. Yeah, but if I can say, if I can talk about what I would love to do, yeah, I would love to keep the direction that you with the previous delegation started. That's focus on music in Czech Republic, with a major focus on up and coming, fresh young artists. No matter their notoriety or their management's money they have, like I would like to go back to national selection in whatever way, be it on the internet. I don't think there is a. I seriously don't think there is a time and money for quality national selection. Still, I don't think
Yeah, we need to start
the Eurovision Czech
someday
Republic.
anyway.
Yeah, but I think the Eurovision in Czech Republic needs to be uh, like taken seriously before that happens. I don't. I think in this moment, if there would be a national selection as a TV program, I think people would like hate it for no reason, and it would still be stuck in this like fringe, weird
Yeah, this is
position,
sorry
which
to
I wouldn't
interrupt you, but
like.
this is something we were discussing a lot as well. But there are two points of view of this, and I was making a lot of videos about this because this is a serious topic. I'm really still all in about it, and that's okay.
Yeah,
Somehow it's for public. You know, the past didn't help us. We still hear about Kabat and Gypsy CZ, like everything which still somehow resonates, or Conchita Wurst, but we don't see all those really great things happens. We see only the extreme things, whether are good or bad in the in our thing. It's a bad past kind of, but there's a way that the public broadcaster should also make a platform for the artists to shine. And I'm asking you this especially because I was talking to Pam Rabbit. I had this interview in Czech Talents Tuesdays, and she honestly said that when ESCZ, the national selection, changed from the live format to the online format, she said, I knew I have no chance to win because of Benny. And we know as well that there was another contender who said, okay, I'm quit because I know I won't win. So this format, no chance. So do you think that as well, this format, if there's not gonna be live, and I think there's not gonna be live, that this format, the online format, needs changes? Because you need probably to give even those youngers or newcomers a chance to win.
yeah, yeah. Like, don't get me wrong. I don't think I don't think the national selection TV program is something bad. I would love to do that, but I'm just being pragmatic. I'm not saying it in a way that I don't want to do it. And I take the risk to do the TV program. National selection is a live TV show, but I don't think like pragmatically it's going to happen. I think it can happen when we will be like 2 times top 3 in 5 years, and people will start to take Eurovision seriously, and there will be like huge pressure from the audience in Czech Republic to make it even more serious, because they will smell the blood, so to say, from like TV sports, like sports fans. Like if the general public will feel that we have a shot to win the Eurovision, I think they will ask for TV national selection live show, because it will make it even more interesting, and people. I think at that moment people would actually be voting for TV show, because they will be able to see all the performers live. They will be able to see their stage presence, and they will be able to choose more wisely. Because obviously, if you do the online only selection, as you said, you are basically judging the artist charisma, PR obligations, interviews and stuff like that, together with the studio recording, which is not the full picture. You need to see the artist on stage, so you can decide properly who should be on the Eurovision stage. Yeah, so I'm completely for TV live national selection, but I don't think it's in near future for Czech Republic. I really, if he would end up third and the next year fourth or second or something like that, then I think it can happen, and you can ask the broadcaster, hey, what about putting money into it and try it like seriously? But this happens, I don't think pragmatically it's going to happen.
Or maybe it's not gonna happen now, but we'll see. We'll see in the future. Or as well as you said, it will be dependable on results. But one result really changed already, and that's the approach of the singers and artists in general towards Eurovision brand. In 5 years, it really changed. Do you have any signals that it changed even for better? Because I do, but when I'm talking to those artists, they always say like, I don't know what Czech TV, like how to approach it. They still don't know. How do you plan? Because I really feel that this is something we need to work on as well, or you need to work on, is how to make them know that this is the date when to send the song and whatever. This is the hardest part.
I think it's quite easy. Like we already have the blueprint. You just have to meet them face to face, and
that's it.
Like they need to see the people behind the project to start believing it. Like if you can send them any amount of emails, and you can do any amount of like phone calls or commercials for the national selection. You can do whatever you like PR wise, but if you won't meet the people face to face, you are not doing a good job, in my opinion. So I did talk to couple artists. I started to convincing them to be part of the next year Eurovision. I will definitely schedule, pardon my French, a shit ton of other like meetings with people you had in New Talents Tuesdays, and with bunch of other artists I have in mind, and I will try to convince them to be part of it. That's the only approach that works, in my opinion. If you are trying to just send letters and emails, it doesn't work. And you can tell them gazillion times when is the deadline, but if they don't have a management, they will still forget. From my personal experience, the artists are focused on art and not on like production schedules. So I personally experienced that the artist asked me like 15 times, yeah. When is the deadline actually? I already told you like a couple times in previous discussions. Yeah, but I did forget. Like, tell me again, what are the rules? So basically, you just contact with them. You need to talk to them on a regular basis. You need to explain them everything like a gazillion times. You just sort of need to be kind of manager of the project, and like keep explaining, keep trying to convince them and stuff like that. That's the only way, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's the way I believe politics as well. Yeah.
You can have whatever billboard campaign you like, but if you don't want to meet the people face to face and like take responsibility for the project you are offering, then you have no chance to get the best people into the project.
Yeah, and I think that's as well the exact, you just mentioned it, exactly the way why some countries really struggle, because they just can't go outside the television bubble. Because I think those bubbles, the artistry one with the music industry and the television one, they just don't connect. They're just very far away, actually.
Yeah, exactly. They just think the brand itself is enough. They think, okay, I have a huge brand, So I will just tell everybody, yeah, the brand is available for you to be part of it, and they think it's enough that the artists and people around will just go for it. But it's not the case. Like the artists they have zillion different things to do, and they are working simultaneously on like 5, 10, 15 different projects, creating songs, doing a ton of stuff, and you just need to be around them all the time, and all the time you need to explain and try to like win their attention and convince them to be the part. If you just if you think that the brand itself is enough, it's not. Like they are not talent scouts, they are artists. They like watching that closely.
Yeah, and
I
the
would say.
brand itself is just a shell, you know. It's, as well as you mentioned, it's about the people who are working there, and they need to meet them. I think that really helped us as well on this road. As I remember, and I'm telling this example all the time because it's still funny to me, that I've met one young manager, you know, invited him, meet him personally, and said like, I thought over emails that you're like 65-year-old or 65 million years old because you're working for Czech Television. So maybe that even helped to change the project to really to this approach and younger people and younger image of the project inside that they need to meet. But tell me, because you mentioned as well how easy or hard is to work with managers, and you actually become one after Eurovision for Lake Malawi. How does this experience, how this changed your approach towards music industry as well? Because now you're part of it.
Yeah, it's a I imagine it completely different. It's very hard. It's very hard thing to do, in my opinion. You are basically half of your time you have to be like I don't know, mm, like motivational speaker, and you need to motivate the artist. You need to be there for them and like supporting them like psychologically, and you need to be motivational. And on the other hand, you just have to be like a production manager. And sometimes it's hard to be really good in both, because obviously more fun is to be creative, to try to think about new ways to present the artist. I like to songs. I like to discuss with Albert what demo versions, in my opinion, is going to be better than the others, and that's way more fun than the production side of the things. But you just have to do both, and sometimes you get distracted by one, and you can get stuck in either one of those things. Sometimes you are doing think, okay, I'm doing a good job. I did actually book this concert, or I managed to do this and that, and you have a very good feeling. But then you realize that just focusing on doing gigs and stuff like that, and not and they are starting to like burn out a bit, being stuck in just performing and recording and stuff like that. So you go to the other department and you start to motivate them and start to going through the songs with them and start to like creating these visions, which can be very motivational for the artist. Yeah, but then you are starting to miss out on the serious production, and people are starting to call you. Yeah, you promised me to finish to send us the stage plan, blah blah blah. So yeah, it's our thing to do, and it's completely new experience. I never done anything like that at all. I thought when I said yes, I thought it's basically another like production job. It's completely different. It's so different. I don't blame managers of the bands are not the most beloved people, I would
No.
say, because you have to be, to a degree, you have to be an asshole who negotiates the prices and stuff like that. So you have to fight for your artist. So you are not very likable person to other projects productions team. you have to be always on the side of your artist, even though you sometimes disagree with his approach, and you have to learn that you are actually there for him, not the other way around. It's also hard that you have a vision and you are trying to force the artist, which I did at the beginning, to do some things, but then you realize that he doesn't like this direction you are offering, and that can be quite hard. You have to realize, okay, so I will step back because that's my vision, and I'm not the artist. I'm actually support to the artist. So if he really doesn't want to go this way,
Would it be the biggest advice you can get to starting managers like you?
yeah, the biggest advice, quite easy. You just need to try to suppress your own ego. Like you have to very quickly realize that you are there to help the artist to realize his like visions and not your visions, uh, which is quite hard. You are trying to, yeah, that would be the advice. Like if somebody would go for it, you need you really need to like the artist. If you are if I would say yes, that doesn't make any sense for me. You just need to like the artist because you him. Maybe if you would some random artist who is completely without opinion, and you can realize whatever you like for him, then yes, then it can be a bit easier. But I wouldn't be interested in that. I like strong personalities like Albert, like Ben, with all the shortcomings. Obviously, there is shit ton of places where you completely disagree with those people. Yeah, but they are also inspirational for you. So I would always go for artists like that. But that comes with a price. You need to know your position, and you are always under the artist, kind of in the chain of command, not above him. That's the other thing. You need to convince the direction. Sometimes you have this urge to say, "No, I'm completely convinced. We will go this way," and you will tell them, "We have to go this way." But the artist is like, "Why? Why? Because you think it's a good idea? Then in that case, fuck you. Like I would like to go the opposite direction." And then you realize I have to convince them. I need to like paint the picture of this direction. I need to
Be more
I just
specific.
need to like,
Had numbers.
yeah, be more specific. I need to sell it. I need to sell the idea to the artist. I'm manager. Yeah, then he will tell you, yeah, okay, so you are not anymore. Fuck you and do whatever you like. But like convince me, like sell the idea to me. And if you are able to do that, you can do quite well. Or the artist, actually. That's the thing. The artist
Yeah,
can do
it's
quite
pretty
well.
much sounds like the any other job kind of, because you need to prove yourself and everywhere basically, but as well you're working with people. If you just that's just like one last thing, if you just compare this manager job to head of delegation job, which is quite different for many different reasons. But do you feel that your manager of the brand that helped you to be a better head of delegation?
I wouldn't. I don't know. I wouldn't say it did. I think it's completely different because the Eurovision, uh, it's quite solid structure. You know the blueprint. You know actually when is what and like what is what's needed to be done. In this way, it's way easier, in my opinion, than being a manager of the band because only the imagination and the uh, artists' capabilities are the limiting factors. You can go in whatever direction you like. You can actually say, okay, we will change the name of the band. We will hire this musician. We will work with this producer, and our goal will be German market. Or you can say, yeah, fuck German market. We will stay in Czech Republic. We will start to sing in Czech. Uh, and everything is possible. You can choose whatever path you like. And that's kind of a scary thing to do. You can actually fuck up the future of the artist by not being smart about it. Here you can fuck up uh, in a way that you are not give a fuck, that you don't give a fuck about the artist. That's the only way. Then if you do as a head of delegation your job well, that means you have to make sure that he is rehearsing, that he is in a good place with his psyche, that he doesn't have any mess in his head. If I speak about Ben, you need to provide a solid supporting structure for him, but the direction is known. You know what to do. You know when is the gig. You know that if you decide that it will look like that, you need to give it 100%. So it's easier in this regard, I would say, and it's short term. It's easier to like focus couple months than being in this project with Lake Malawi, where I don't know, will I be there 1 year, 10 years, 15 years? That's actually quite scary thing to think about.
Yeah, but what's not scary is that, or maybe it's actually scary that the semifinals are very, very close, and I want you to focus on it. I really want you to clean your head for it. Just, I know it's hard and it's pressure, but whatever you've done, it can't be undone anyway. So what I can do wish a huge amount of luck, and I will have fingers crossed for you and the whole delegation, and big hugs, of course, for you all. Thank you for this awesome conversation, Kryštof.
Thank you so much, buddy. See you in Prague, and everybody watch the show. Fingers crossed, and hopefully we will have another shot in the grand final. Let's see what happens.
Okay, guys, and that was Kryštof. So I really hope you enjoy it. I really hope you're gonna have your fingers crossed for Czech delegation, and especially Benny, and therefore Czech future at Eurovision, as I think we still need, as we said in the interview, we need more successes in the row. So let's see, let's hope it's gonna do well. Write me in the comments below, what do you think? I'm really curious. And of course, please don't be afraid to subscribe to the channel, like it, share it, and watch or listen my other podcast, which you're gonna love for sure. And I'll see you next time. Thank you for watching and listening. Bye.